Doa Straight Talk, Sehopa. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the reflection session with the Laguna Community Foundation. You're getting 2-for-1 today. So this is the reflection session for LCF, but also we turned it into a 4K BK session because we have a special guest in the house. And just to provide some more feedback, and we're going to jump on screen right now. Hello. Um, Greetings, everybody. So the 4K BK session, so I wanted to give you some background, is for Koikame by Koikame. So we did this in a way that we wanted to uplift the community. We have, as you well know, we have various community champions all over the place, whether they're here on the res or they're off the res. So no matter where they're at, they're doing wonderful things. So for us, we invited a special guest here in a bit. You may have seen the promo on Facebook and Instagram. So we're going to get to that guest here in a little bit. So, but to start off, my name is Leroy Buster Silva. I'm the executive director for the Laguna Community Foundation, and we have
Michaela Saraceno, the Youth Empowerment Coordinator.
Yes, and we're very happy to have you today. So once again, if this is your first time joining us, we do this bi-weekly to be transparent and to give you updates of what we're doing here at the Laguna Community Foundation or what we see during our interactions with community. But more so, it's just just another opportunity for us to uplift the community, uplift community champions, and recognize them for what they're doing. So again, thank you very much to all our supporters, near and far. So thank you very much for your support. So Michaela, what's up? What's going on today?
We have a reflection session today. And do you want me to introduce them, or do you want to introduce them?
Oh no, just what's up in general. Then we can jump. What's up?
Nothing. Just kind of working.
Just working. Yeah. So same thing with me. It's a beautiful day. And one thing I want to uplift. It's I was sitting at a coffee shop today, and sometimes when I get people who just who look at me, I have long hair, and sometimes people come up to me and they want to they want to say that they have talk about their great grandmother who was a Cherokee princess. It's funny. It's one of those ongoing conversations, those jokes that we have as Indigenous people. But anyway, one thing that took me by surprise is there was this older lady, and she had 2 braids, and she had bangs, and she was wearing purple and white, and she came up to me and put her hands on the and I had my earbuds in, so I took them off expecting just something out of the just totally unexpected. She said, "Young man, have a wonderful day," and that was it. She walked away. So that's one thing that's really uplifted me today. So wherever you're at, have a wonderful day and just keep your eyes out. I think sometimes we get caught up in what we're doing. I wasn't expecting that. So that's one thing I want to uplift today is that person, her name was Anne. And that was it. I just asked her name. And but anyway, I just wanted to, that was on top of mind right now, but I just wanted to celebrate that person that took the time out. And she was going up to every person and saying that, which was cool. So anyway, that was top of mind. So I just wanted to uplift that. So thank you very much, Anne. You're much appreciated, whoever you are. So anyway, that's off the topic. But today, once again, we have a special guest in the house. You may have seen the promo up on the screen earlier today, but her name is Treva Riley. So Treva Riley has been a community champion since high school, definitely a outstanding athlete on and off the court. I think she was in cross country, but she can, she can talk about that here in a bit, but she serves our community as a wellness teacher, physical education teacher at the Laguna Elementary School, and she's been doing outside of work, doing amazing things. She's going to talk about her trip to Washington D.C. During one of the biggest events that happens in our country. So she can talk more about that. But so this is a platform for us to uplift our community members. So Treva is just one of those people out of many people who are doing wonderful things. So without further ado, let's bring on this Treva Riley. What's up, Treva?
Hello, everybody. It's going good so far. Like you said, it's a beautiful day. Hello, everybody. My name is Treva Riley. وهنا وقتايتsa shashgahanusta yakawashti. So it's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation. And yes, it's a beautiful day. What can I say?
Yes, it is. So thank you very much, Treva, for accepting our invitation. And so once again, I know I didn't do your bio justice, but just watching your growth over since high school and into your professional life, but more so just the way you interact with the youth doesn't go unrecognized. So I appreciate you for the style of education and your approach to education that you provide for our community here. It's awesome to see. And like I said, you live what you teach. You're still active, on in school and out of school. And I'm gonna bring up that what you did over the pandemic, you and your auntie. You can see some videos of you on. So Treva, what we do at the Laguna Community Foundation, Michaela and I, every time we check in, we try to, before we start a planning session or just check in, we do this thing called Rose, Blossom, and Thorn. So a rose is something you are excited about, you want to celebrate, and a blossom is something in the works that you're looking forward to, and a thorn is a challenge that you're working through. So keep that in mind. And Michaela is going to model what that looks like for us. And then you'll go second, then I'll go third. So Michaela, take it away.
Okay, so my rose for this week is definitely I've been in my little baking era. So I've been baking all kind of stuff. I recently mastered making donuts, so that's been really fun. And then that would be my blossom, or my rose, I mean. My blossom is I'm really looking forward to baking more stuff because it's been really fun kind of messing with ingredients and just kind of going through that journey. And I think it's really been like relaxing for me, like therapeutic. So I've been really enjoying that as well. My thorn is just kind of like focusing on my emotional wellness. And that's what I found like through baking I've seen so far. It's just like focusing on like just making the ingredients, baking stuff, and hoping it comes out good. So like the people who are going to eat it get to enjoy it. So far, it's just been my mom and my sister, my guinea pigs, testing my stuff. And so, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Michaela, for sharing that. She is taking orders. So she's raising money for the Laguna Community Foundation. Hey, that's one fundraising strategy. So, all right, cool. Well, I look forward to hopefully tasting some of your creations. Treva, you're next.
That was wonderful. Awesome, Michaela. Yes, we'll have to definitely order some goodies from you.
Oh, and your mom said, yes, donuts for the mom.
Nice.
So shout out to Zoe. Thank you for tuning in.
Awesome. So I think a rose for me, celebration is just celebrating the end of the school year. Shout out to all my kiddos, kinder through 5th grade, and all of my middle school kids. May you have a awesome summer, find some things to do. And I think that's just a big celebration all the way around. For me personally, it's just getting back into the home life, the daily routines, and finding a good balance in that. So those are a couple of things that I'm excited and celebrating today. Blossom. Let's see. I think I'm working towards a few projects right now that are in the works. I've joined a couple of committees that I'm excited to see blossom along the way and kind of build that nice foundation and, see where we can go with it. So that's definitely something to look forward to. And then I think a thorn for me, something that's challenging, is balancing the home life and being away from work. That's always a really big adjustment for me, getting up as early as I can to still stay on routine. I don't want to get caught sleeping in till noontime and then lose out on half the day. So I'm still adjusting to that. But I think that's going to be a challenge, just to try and balance the work life, or actually the home life, and transitioning into that. So that's going to be hard.
Yes. Awesome, Treva. Well, round of applause for you. Thank you very much for sharing that. And okay, what am I excited about? I think Definitely seeing my kids. They're coming on the wind down, so I want to celebrate them. Just my daughter, she is in fourth grade. My son, he's in second grade, and my oldest son, Chase, he's going to be graduating soon. So and then the baby girl, she's just learning new stuff. So I want to celebrate them for just their growth and the amazing things that they do, and just seeing them. Be excited about what they're doing, and just transferring that knowledge into their daily life. So I want to celebrate them. Let me see. What I'm looking forward to. I think this summer we planted a garden finally, so we're very excited about that. My whole family is in the mix. They have their own little beds, so taking a responsibility of of watering, making sure that they go out and kind of observe what does their bed look like. Is there any weeds growing? Just the excitement that comes when they see a leaf pop out. So where my wife and I, we've been wanting to do this for a while, but just because of our travel during the summers. So unfortunately, we're not going to Cali this summer. So we're putting a lot of our energy into the garden. So I think it's a great way to bring the family together, to teach responsibility, to teach that we can grow our own food and things like that. So that's something in the works that we're looking forward to. Harvest time. I think one challenge is, and Michaela knows this, I always say balance. Work-life balance is always a tough one for me, is that being able to just, 5 o'clock comes, just cut everything off. I'm not going to answer any emails, phone calls, things like that, and just sticking to that. But also too, during my off time is, my brain is always going, is that, what about this? This is the idea. So trying to be mindful of my time and the space that I'm in during that time. So that's me. That's mine. So, but thank you, ladies, for sharing. Thank you for that applause. But yeah, so that's normally how we check in. So those of you who are watching, feel free to do your own self reflection as well. So once again, a rose is something you want to celebrate. A blossom is something in the works that you're looking forward to, and a thorn is something that you're working out of. So you're more than welcome to pop them into the comments, and then we'll share them as we go along with the show. So we're gonna turn the attention to our special guest, Treva Riley. Terry Wasita, thank you very much for tuning in. Good afternoon to you too. Hope you're doing well. So Treva, we mentioned a little, just a snippet earlier, is that it's graduation season across the country, more so in our communities. I want to get your perspective of, we're going to take a flashback. So visualize yourself going back to Laguna Acoma High School. What were you thinking maybe that last month, or even on the way to graduation? But once you hit graduation, did you have plans? Did you have everything planned out? Or what was your emotions? What were you feeling during that time?
Oh my goodness, I had a rush of emotions. I think it was mixed with being excited because I got accepted to the University of New Mexico and starting on that journey. I believe I was training for the All-Star game, the New Mexico All-Star game for basketball, so that was in the works as well. And then there's like that bittersweet moment as well, because it's kind of sad. You're leaving your hometown, you're leaving your high school, and I'm gonna be meeting a whole lot of other people that think differently, that see things in a different lens or in a different light. But
Mm-hmm.
it was mainly excitement and happiness to move forward and to see what life had to offer.
Yeah, nice. Let me see. So college was college always the vision? Was that always told, you are going to go to college, or was that something that you kind of had to learn on your own?
Um, well, I think it was talked about in the family a lot.
Mhm.
And I know that I would have, I think, been, I know in my own family, the first one to go to college. So I was very excited. That was something that I've always wanted to do on my own accord. So yes, it was just something I wanted to accomplish. And I really wanted to go out and experience the college life, the
Mhm.
study, and I wanted to bring that back to the Pueblo because I know that was always talked about, go see the world, go do things, go meet people, be well-rounded in your knowledge, and then bring
Yeah.
it back. So I had that vision going forward. I always knew I wanted to come back. And I think that's what fueled me and propelled me to move forward.
Yeah. And so sports, like I said, I watched you, playing ball on the court. You're very good. You probably still are good. If it wasn't, how did that propel you forward? I know for speaking for myself,
Mhm.
basketball was my vehicle. So if it wasn't for basketball, I probably wouldn't have gone to college.
Right,
Because I just wanted to play basketball, and and everything came second to that.
right.
So if you didn't play sports, do you feel that your trajectory would have stayed the same, or what did you learn from sports that maybe if you didn't participate, what I guess would you be on that same road?
Oh man, I have no clue. I mean, I don't have any regrets, obviously, playing basketball, or sports in general. I just use every aspect of it. It's helped me in my discipline, consistency, all the core values that everybody talks about.
Hmm.
Respect, respecting officials, and sometimes having to follow the referee. I know we didn't always agree on calls, and we wanted to say stuff, but it was that respect for authority that taught us, you respect any call that's made. And that's kind of how life is. We want it to be fair, but sometimes it's just not fair.
Yes.
You got to roll with the punches and go with the flow and be very adaptable and flexible. So I think
Hmm.
sport has taught me a lot about moving forward and being resilient.
Hmm.
And I think just combining it with our culture and the way of living really helped me. But I don't know. I really don't know if I'd be where I'm at today if it wasn't for sports. I know our families were really involved in that as well. So
Hmm.
yes.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. And you mentioned something within our culture. And Michaela, you can speak to this too, because I want to have you chime in as far as, because you're a first generation college student too, and you just graduated from Fort Lewis College in December. So speaking, well, staying on the cultural aspect, with core values and things like that. How did that, Michaela? How did that help you? And you could share more too, is like what you wanted to what your trajectory was going into college as well, but how did your cultural values help you in going to college?
Yeah, so my journey was that I didn't make friends right away, but it was when I did make friends, a lot of them were from other tribes, particularly like the Pueblo groups. We did have clubs at the fort that were like Pueblo Alliance, Wambleota, just all these indigenous clubs that were there. So that really helped me stay grounded in who I was. And I joined Pueblo Alliance and I made friends there. Um, particularly from the other Pueblos. And it was really nice to kind of get that home aspect. We'd share foods with each other, share our experience, share memories. And I think that really grounded me in making a family away from home, and really helped me to stay out there and to stay in school. Because I don't think if I didn't make those friends and didn't make that community there, I probably would have came home because I would have gotten too homesick. Um, Even though Durango was only like 3 hours away. But yeah, I think just making that community out there and kind of surrounding yourself with the same bases that you would back home, like having family that you can rely on. So just having a community out there has helped me really stay grounded in college and everything. And we also pushed each other to kind of do our best in our studies, study with each other. So that was also a good part of it.
Nice. So obviously, going to school, having that vision or plan. For like me, I just wanted to help people. That was kind of like my thing, basketball, and wanted to help people. And it turned out to, I went and got into education now in the nonprofit sector. But everything that just that vision of just helping people have led me in that direction. Did you always aspire to be a teacher, Treva, or what was your, I'm going to college. What did you want to do?
Oh man, no, I I didn't want to be a teacher at first. I was going to school for architecture.
Oh,
And
okay.
I went for maybe about a year and a half. I was in the program or getting my credits going towards that. And so, I was really into, and I still am into like building houses and the design, the exterior design, the interior design, like that still very much fascinates me. Um, But after getting into some classes, I was like, I don't think this is for me. And like you had mentioned, Buster, I just wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how could I help people, but on a level that satisfies my soul?
Hmm.
So I did some soul searching, and I think I visited the school one day, the elementary, and my mom was the librarian at the time, and I was talking to her and met the principal, and she said, "Hey, we need a PE teacher. Have you thought about going in that direction?" And I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't even think about it." So I looked up some classes and looked up the degree and all of the works to it, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do that because I love sports. I love physical activity in general and how it makes me feel, and it's very uplifting to me. So I got right in there, and I got it done. It was a rigorous program, but I made it through. I know PE
Nice.
people might be like, PE, and I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
pretty hard. It's intense.
Yes, it
So
is.
yes,
Awesome. And no, I'm glad you mentioned that too. And I think the those our audience members that are watching, and hopefully some youth will pick up on it too, is that sometimes you change your mind, and that's totally fine. And I think sometimes our youth, our people in general, just have if I go to college, I have to focus just,
right.
and I can't change. You might have a change of heart. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Um, when it comes to obviously pandemic, we all went through that. um, what was that like as a teacher? And then you had a pivot, which I was teasing you about earlier, is that you and your aunt, and I saw a lot of everybody went online and people were making videos and things like that. How did you upkeep your spirits uplifted, but more so you were responsible for still providing that type of learning for
Right.
the community? So what did that feel like? Obviously can't go into the classroom. You had to do everything online. And what did it feel like to have
Mhm.
that in person, that um, in person classes again? So what did that look
Oh
like?
man. It was to be honest, it was really scary. Anything having to do with uncertainty when you don't know what's going on or you can't even see the future. I
Yeah.
think that's what the pandemic had taught me was to trust that everything is going to be fine. But to I think it also taught me to be adaptable and to be flexible. And I was very thankful. I was trying to find a lesson in it, and it's like, what's the biggest lesson that I'm trying to learn being in this situation? And for me, it was just being grateful that I got to be with my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother. We were still able to talk and converse and try and find creative ways to keep ourselves entertained. And so, like, moving into the school year, though, where we were having to do it from home, it was a challenge because they're like, how are you going to do PE when you're not in person? And I'm like, I don't know. That's a good question. So I started looking up on YouTube and, oh, there's videos. We could do this, we could do that.
Yep.
And so I really just started off on my own, trying to record my own videos and doing some fitness. And then I was like, you know what? I should invite Auntie Trina because I know she loves to dance and she just has this sense of humor and fire about her.
It
And
does.
so I always come up with ideas, but she's the one that will push it through and get it going. And so she brings out that side of me that I think I'm missing at times. So she brought like the fun, unique style to the YouTube channel that we created during that time. But it was, like I said, very scary. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I had that sense of like peace just being at home and being with my family, and it really helped my mind to be more creative.
Yeah. Nice. And are your videos still available?
They're still available. There's no new content, but it's
Yeah.
still available.
Nice. No, I would encourage you, and it's under the is it the Laguna Elementary School?
Yeah, I think it's Laguna Physical Education. I think that's our
Okay.
our
All right.
name for it.
Yeah, so I would encourage you, especially if you have little ones, because I used some of your videos with our kids, and that was the shift
Oh,
for us
sweet.
too, is that finding opportunities for our kids to be still active in games and things like that. And we had to we made our own videos as well. So
Oh,
I
sweet.
think everybody had to be creative, and you had to everybody had to learn Zoom and all of these platforms. So and this was my pivot too, is that created a podcast, not this one, but one for my social enterprise. So that was my pivot
Nice.
too, is that, how do we still engage people? And, again, just I feel that everybody had to be adaptable during that time, like you said. So thank you for sharing that. Michaela, is there anything that's resonating with you? That's any questions that popped up? What Shiva mentioned?
Yeah, COVID was really a hard time, and shout out to all of like the professors and teachers who had to adjust, because I was in college during COVID times and we were having to study from home. We didn't know what we were going to do. We thought we were only going to have a 2 week spring break and go back, but then it ended up being the whole semester with us being home. And then we got trapped here. Well, not trapped. We got kind of couldn't go out of the reservation. So we just had to stay home all the time. And so I think that was really like something we all had to adjust to, even as students. But the teachers and professors made it work for us. They helped us understand and learn what we needed to learn in order to pass the class. They offered curriculums that were adjustable and flexible for all of us. So I thought that was really cool to have, and really awesome for the teachers to be so flexible during that time.
Yes. And we'll give a shout out to all the teachers, professors, everybody, even, just all the workforce who had to make those adjustments. So thank you very much for all that you did. We have Kristen Riley, a little late after high school. I wanted to go to college, travel, get away, and experience the world. So thank you very much, Kristen Riley. She is the school counselor for the Laguna Elementary School. She does a great job too. So thank you very much for tuning in, Kristen. So we talked about flashback back to high school. We talked about a little bit about the profession. So outside of, obviously we have a life outside of work.
Yeah.
So Treva, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing? And this is where you can elaborate more on your trip to Washington, because I know you're
Yeah.
active outside as well, and I see you still working out, things like that. So what does Miss Riley do outside of your profession as a teacher?
Well, yeah, fitness has always been something that I've always been involved in for a long time. I just like the way that it makes me feel. I like being in the weight room and, getting stronger, researching, as we get older. If we're not moving, if we're complacent and get too comfortable, we lose that muscle mass and bone density. So I'm just trying to take advantage of every avenue and every opportunity to be strong and be well. And fitness has always been a way to challenge me on all levels, your mental, emotional, physical, and of course your spiritual side. I also am an artist. I love drawing. I love painting, and I play the guitar as well. I had my first performance for the LES ceremony, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, you play guitar!" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." I don't
Nice.
play for everybody, but my family, I play for them and practice different songs. So those are some of the things that I do outside, that I'm very passionate about. And then just overall hanging out with my family and friends, is very important to me, building those relationships and seeing how I can be of service to them as well.
Nice. So you're gonna be the second coming of the Village Express, right?
Oh my God,
So join
maybe.
the fam. There you go. So if you don't know, Cuba comes from a long line of musicians. So
Yeah,
Village
definitely.
Express is native
Grandpa.
Pueblo celebrities. So it's always nice to see them out and about. So outside again, I want to touch on your trip to Washington, because not everybody gets to sit in the chambers of where you were at. Nobody gets to experience that type of vibe. How was, and that was for the what is it, remind me of the event?
The State of the Union
State of the
address.
Union. So raise your hand if you've been State of the Union. Not me. So Chiva's the only one. So what did it? So again, I was watching on TV, and I saw some posts that you were gonna be there. So I was like looking out. Is that where's Chiva up top? But what did that feel like going into the State of the Union? just seeing everybody that we usually see people just on TV or we hear about
Right.
them, but more so it's like, what did it mean to you for you to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Um, as a representative of, was it for, and share more about why you were there, and just your overall experience.
Oh man, it was an honor. To be honest, I had gotten an email that asked, "Hey, are you interested in going to Washington? You've been chosen, you've been selected." And that was our superintendent Suman, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's cool. When do I leave?" She's like, "In a couple of days, a few days." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I gotta prep and get ready." But it was for the parity, the pay parity, for tribally controlled schools and the
Okay.
retirement benefits and how we can get in on that, because we don't have the same retirement benefits as other school districts do. So we're trying to equal out the playing field on that. And I was invited by Mr. Gabe Vasquez, Congressman Gabe Vasquez. And so it was truly an honor, and it was very surreal because
Yes.
you do see it on TV and you do see, the president, and you see him walk in and you see, all the delegates, the Congress people. And it was just amazing to witness all of that and to be a part of it. And I was sitting way up in the corner, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, people aren't gonna see me," because they were like, "We'll try and look out for you." um, so I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But it was just really cool and really neat. And then just to meet all kind of people from all over, and they're all fighting for causes. They're talking about what they're trying to, push through, different laws and things that they're wanting to see, change in the world or change in our country. And I thought that was really fascinating. That there are people out there that are wanting the changes and wanting them to be made and expand on that too. So yeah, it was awesome. I got to meet different celebrities as well. Fat Joe,
Oh.
lean back, lean back.
Yeah.
Got to take a photo with him, and
Nice.
so it was neat because he was fighting, I think, for autism, children with autism.
Hmm.
So that was really neat to see that side of an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that experience was neat and got to meet really cool people.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that, and just the you know, I guess I'm always thinking too is like, how do we, just the experiences from our people too, is that some people are, positioned to be in those spaces, and it's just a Laguna person is there, and
Yeah,
just how big, and how important that is, and even to like Deb Holland to be the Secretary of Interior, but also to celebrating people who are doing amazing things across the world in different capacities, artists or musicians or
mhm, mhm,
actors, and we have a whole slew of genius within Goikame that we want to uplift, and sometimes we don't recognize that, and see the impact that it makes on that,
right,
we can point down and say you could do that too, not just our youth, but our even just our people in general. So
right.
yes, so thank you for sharing that, your experience with that, and I'm sure too, if you're interested in learning more about Treva's experience in Washington D.C., I'm sure you could talk about that for a few hours and your experiences, things like that. But thank you very much for sharing that with us today. You have a shout out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much for tuning in, Miss Chino. Um, yeah. So again, we talked about passions and outside of work. So what, I guess, the now that we're in graduation mode, now that again, just celebrating community, what are some words of encouragement that you have for Goikman near and far? It could be whatever you want.
Oh, well, I think I have some things written down, so I came prepared a little bit, but just for everybody in general, from all walks of life, from our littles to our elders, to be open to learning, be open to learning anything that you want. It's there and it's available. And have fun doing the things that you want to do, because our creator planted a seed within every single individual, and it's really up to us to figure out what it is that we are made and created to do. What is our mission and what are we here for? And I think on this platform, what was mentioned is we're here to serve, and a lot of us have that that mission to serve others and to help others be known, and to just ultimately shine our light. So I have that, be open to learning new things, and to continue to move forward and be strong. Don't take life for granted. If you're awake today, hey, you've been given an opportunity. You've been given an opportunity to learn and to grow and to establish good relationships with other people, but also with yourselves. Be gentle with who you are and what you're doing, and know that it's okay to make mistakes. That's ultimately what got us here. I'm sure every single one of us made plenty of mistakes, but we learned from them and we asked questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, how are you going to know, right? So if you question things and you ask the people, that are doing the things that you want to do, they're going to share it, and that's the awesome part about communicating with one another, that connection that holds us strong. And like my grandparents have always told us too, and our parents, don't be afraid to share what you know. Don't be afraid to share the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, because you're that lamp too that lights the way. You're the one that shines the light for others, and that we're all here building that foundation for our next generation. It's not that I do things for myself only. It's for them. It's for the babies that haven't been born yet. Someday they're going to be in our position, and that means a lot to me. I want to make sure that I've been of service and that I've made an impact. So those are my words of wisdom.
Wow, that's a mic drop moment, Treva. Nice. I think one thing that resonates with me, what you said, is that don't take life for granted. And definitely for me personally, that means, just taking care of ourselves and taking care of our bodies and our minds and our spirits. And, so thank you very much for your words. And I think definitely that's something that I resonate with, and and I needed to hear. So thank you very much, Treva, for that. Any closing words for Treva, Michaela?
Yeah, just thank you for your words. I think we all needed to hear that. Creating an environment for our future generations is something that's really important, and something that I really go by, because we are creating this life for them, and whatever we have now, we give to them. So don't be scared to share your knowledge. Don't be scared to be stingy with what you know. So give it to them so they can be better than you, is something that we always go by, and something that we always say, because it's all for them, so that they can live a better life than we did.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, well, thank you.
Did you have something? I say one last? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I just want to thank I just want to thank Michaela and Buster. Thank you so much for your efforts and the things that you're doing, because it is meaningful, to share this with not only our people, but for whoever is tuning in. You guys are shining your light, and I just want to encourage you to keep moving forward and keep doing your thing, and that my thoughts and prayers will always be with you all. And so continue the good fight and do the best that you can. And I'm just very, very proud of you. So if anybody watching, give them a round of applause, because they deserve that. So thank you again.
Thank you very much, Treva. And with that, we will close this 4K BK session. So once again, we want to applaud Treva Riley for everything that she does, community champion, educator, and thank you very much for what you do for our kiddos and our community. So continue to shine your light. And so once again, if you see her in community, she's very approachable. So if you have any questions, so whether you're watching this live or on the rewind, thank you very much for tuning in. But thank you again, Treva, for all that you do. And we'll see you in community soon.
Sounds good. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you. Oh man. What are you feeling, Michaela?
I feel really touched by her last words. They were really meaningful and really good words to hear.
Yes. So that's the whole purpose, the reasons why we do this. Our audience, relatives, is that sometimes our when we see our community members, whether they again near and far, no matter what they're doing, and that's part of I feel that our responsibility as the foundation too is to uplift our community members, and no matter what they do, whether they're artists, educators, they're maybe they a youth doing something really profound in the community, is that whether they're teaching something, to do that as well. So we understand that not a lot of people have social media, and that's where you come in. Whether you're watching this right now or on the rewind, grab somebody in your household, or share this when you go on visit with somebody. Is that we're again, this is our responsibility to uplift our community, and this is one example of those community champions who continue to do their thing and be themselves, and carry home with them no matter where they go. So again, once again, thank you very much, Treva, Riley, for joining us today. So all right, we're on the LCF reflection session now. So we don't got a lot of actually we do. No. Do we? Yes. um what do after we're not even find the right one. All right, there you go. Um so Michaela, we went to where earlier last week?
We went to Boston.
Okay. We went to Boston, and we shared this a little bit from our last reflection session. We were in the process of preparing to go to Boston. So Michaela, what was your on personal? We'll talk about personal. So, what did you? One thing that you enjoyed about Boston?
Yeah, so I definitely enjoyed all the food in Boston that we had. I enjoyed the community that we made. It's always great to talk to people that we recently or that we met in Aspen from the last grantee convening. It's always great to see those people there and just connect with them more and foster those relationships with them. So I think that was one of the great things about it, and getting to know other fellow individuals that went with us, Ryan and Alicia. So getting to know them more, I think that was really fun as well.
Yes. So I concur. I give a ditto to the food. The seafood was bomb. East Coast, West Coast, we are jealous. I mean, we get seafood here in New Mexico, but it's not the same. So that was cool. Another thing was just the walkability for me. Every city I go to, I'm all about going to what Treva mentioned, like the architecture. I'm a nerd about that, just how whether a building is shaped, or we saw lions. They don't make things like buildings like that, so there was a lot of old architecture. um, Trees, if you're able to walk or ride a bike, that was built into the city. And just the water too. The water was amazing, and I'm always attracted to the water, so that was nice for us to see. But more so, just interacting with different people. I feel that that's one thing. But it's always nice to visit a big city, then come back to space. I love New Mexico because we have a lot of space. So that's one thing I took away. Um, so we went. This was a grantee convening. So we have a grant through the Aspen Institute, and we're a part of this movement called Opportunity Youth Forum. So this is for youth ages from 16 to 24. Maybe they're out of school, or they are not pursuing secondary education. So this is where navigating that. What are those opportunities out there for them? So we meet by 2 times a year with other national organizations across the country in Hawaii and Alaska. So we're able to kind of see what does OYF look like in their place in space. What type of movements are they building, coalitions, things like that. So we kind of get to get new tools, but also to talk with champions who are doing the same work. So Michaela, what are some of the things that in regard to the gathering that you took away from that?
That there's a lot of great work going on in other communities for youth, whether it be helping youth who are previously incarcerated, helping youth gain voice within political systems within their community, just hearing all the different stuff that youth are doing within their own communities, whether it be the big cities or in urban areas, just hearing what those words and just hearing the activities they're doing and how great they're doing is always something really empowering to hear and motivating, just on our ends to see what we could do more in our community. Um, but yeah, I think it was really great to hear all those things.
Yes. I think one of the things I pulled away is always from the, I like to hear about, OIF on a, national scale, but also too, I think it's for me just more meaningful and, to chat with some of our indigenous relatives who are doing work within their communities because they infuse culture and land and just a different perspective. So it's always a nice to catch up and kind of learn what they're doing, but more so just building those connections. So and and they're doing wonderful work too, so it's nice to see, and kind of validates what we're doing as well. So so that's what I pulled away. And it's and one of the things too, if you're a conference goer, if you're a gathering goer, there's a lot of just talking and asking people what they're doing. You may have like 100 people asking you, what do you do, where are you from? So it gets tiring. So um a conference tip is make sure to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're hydrated. Make sure that you don't drink a lot of coffee. I do that sometimes and I get kind of antsy, so I had to go walk around. Take breaks. Because it's those conferences, even though they may be informative, they can be draining as well. And when you're tired, all that information can bypass you. So make sure you take care of yourself, that you're fresh. And so yeah, anyway, just a conference tip. Do you have any conference tips, Michaela?
And take your business card so you're not having to write everything down for people.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to introduce yourself to others around you, because I think that's really important, just to kind of get to know other people and kind of create those relationships, and then just to hear what they're doing in their own community as well.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Thank you for that, Michaela. Let me see. What else do we have to relay? That's kind of like on top of mind for me, the conference. Other things that are happening, there's an upcoming, I think it's sponsored by the benefits department, Pat Aragon. He's the head cheese for the department, so he's been doing wonderful things. Him and Christine Sorcino, they're going to be hosting on January 7th a community benefits event at Laguna Elementary School. I believe I don't have the flyer with me, but that's happening on June 7th. So that's some upcoming things. We'll be having a booth there, so we're going to set up just opportunities that are popping up for us. And so I think that's top of mind in regard to community events. But that's the main focus today was our guest, Treva Riley. We haven't um, invited anybody to be with us. So that was one of our first of many happening this year. So thank you very much for tuning in. Michaela, any closing words that you have before we enjoy and go back to work on our Thursday, May 30th?
Just to have a good weekend, and it's going to be a start to a new month. So shout out to my sister. It's going to be her birthday. She's turning 20. So I'm super excited for her.
Positive vibes. Happy birthday.
But also, yeah, it's a new start to a month. So don't be afraid to get out there. It's getting warm and it's nice outside. So go on hikes, get your body energized with the sun. I think that's a good way to get your vitamin C in, and just get out there and have fun and enjoy your summer, kids.
Yes. And yes, special shout out to all the graduates, college graduates, but more so the parents who are going to make, and guardians who will be making shifts into their their schedule. That's the realm that my wife and I are in, is that what do we do with them? No, just kidding. But also too, just looking out too, if there's any opportunities for youth in your communities, take full advantage of them. But more so, stay hydrated, especially if you're in a hot climate. There's be prepared to no matter where you go, be safe out there. And youth, if there's any opportunity to grow, to learn, take full advantage. Parents, guardians, keep an eye out for that too, because you're the ones who are going to sign the permission forms and all that stuff. So shout out to everybody who are making adjustments now that our kiddos are out of school. So we look forward to seeing pictures and uplifting more community champions in the future. So with that, we thank you very much for your love and support, and thank you very much again to our special guest Treva Riley for sharing a little bit piece of her journey. There's more to it, so if you see it in community, I'm sure she'll be able to share more about what she talked about today. So with that, peeps, we are going to tune out. We got to get back to work. So we'll talk to you later, and have a great rest of the week and a better weekend. We'll talk to you later.